Picture this, one moment you're an ordinary child. You love Roblox. It is your favorite game. You hop online and play it every day with your school friends, you talk about it all the time, and you're obsessed with the platform until you learn about Roblox Studio and you instantly come in love with it. You try to be a Roblox developer your whole life, but it never succeeds until one day one of your games blows up and you become a popular Roblox developer. It's a dream that you finally achieved after years of trying. And today I'm going to be going through the biggest Roblox developers and how they really got to where they are now. From being ordinary children to becoming multi-millionaires in Roblox development, these Roblox developers truly changed the platform. But before that, my name is Mightyy. I make weekly Roblox documentaries, so make sure to like and subscribe to the channel if you enjoy the content. Anyways, let's get into today's video. The first Roblox developer we're going to be talking about is someone by the name of Nosniy, who started playing Roblox like any ordinary kid, but now owns one of the biggest Roblox series with over 35 million members and two of the biggest games. But how did he even get here? All the way back in 2011, Nosniy would create his main Roblox account, and at first, he didn't really know much about the platform like everybody, but as he kept exploring and playing more games, he became obsessed with the platform, collecting limiteds, playing games, making new friends, and he loved the platform, and he also loved the games. He was so curious about how people made games that he wanted to make his own game, but because he had no experience scripting or modeling, he couldn't just make a game that easy without any experience, so he had to start to learn how to model, script, and do all the things required to actually start the process of making his first ever game. Welcome to Treasure Quest, an RPG game where you fight monsters, you fight bosses, and you fight enemies. You have a sword, and you can get many other weapons, level up, and beat as many bosses and as many enemies as you can, try and get the best of the game. Now, this sounds like a pretty used and a pretty common concept. However, because of how many updates this game had, but also how fun the game was and how it actually had a genuine YouTube community and massive community of a ton of players, it was actually a pretty massive hit, averaging a pretty consistent amount of players, and to this day, it can still hold up at around 100 players on a normal weekday. From this game, Nosniy learned a lot of things: how to make consistent updates, how to make good updates, and how to make an actual good game. This would train him and his team to actually know how to make an even better game, which would lead them to create one of their biggest games yet. Welcome to Super Golf, one of Nosniy and his team's biggest games yet, even winning a Roblox award. It's a pretty basic golfing game. However, this game would actually be one of their biggest games yet, still holding up at an average of 300 players, and before that it even had much more players, having almost 250 million visits. This game was one of the first very successful games in Nosniy and his team's history. He updated this game for a few years before the game started to die out a little, and this would lead them to create their biggest, and I mean their biggest, most influential, and first front page game ever. Welcome to Roblox Rivals. This wasn't just any ordinary game. This was Nosniy and his team's first front page game. In Roblox Rivals, you basically can play in 1v1s, in 2v2s, or even 3v3s. It's basically a shooter with tons of modes, tons of guns, tons of customization, and you can play with friends, host tournaments, and do so much more. This game wasn't just any ordinary game released by their team. This game would influence a whole trend of new Roblox shooters. But this game wasn't just a small game at first. No. This game didn't start out in the hundreds range. No, not in the thousands, but in the 10 to 100,000s range. Yes, at release, this game already had 100,000 players, already making its way to the front page upon release. Using everything Nosniy had learned from his previous games, he used this knowledge to make Rivals the best game he could, consistently updating, talking to players, getting feedback, doing things with YouTubers. This would all lead Rivals to not only crush Roblox milestones, but now can consistently hold an insane amount of 400,000 active CCU, never decreasing. The player count only seems to be going up. While the story of Nosniy and his team was simply just improving with every new game, the story of this Roblox developer was probably the most insane, as he went from being an ordinary Roblox kid to being one of the most famous Roblox developers and even working with the actual company. Meet Luke, who started playing Roblox back when Roblox was a very small platform with less than 1 million users all the way back in 2007. When Luke started playing Roblox, he became obsessed with the platform really quickly, considering it was a pretty simple game back then. He had an interest in making his avatar look cool and buying limiteds. However, he had no interest in building games really. That was until one random day, Luke decided to start developing games. With tons of motivation, he felt like this game was going to do insanely well. However, when he released his first game, it didn't do too well. This disappointed him, but it gave him the strength to keep going. Stickmaster Luke's next game was called Natural Disaster Survival, a game where there are disasters like tsunamis and earthquakes and even massive snowstorms, and you have to survive them on tons of different maps. And this game wasn't just any ordinary game made by anyone. This game instantly broke Roblox, seeing hundreds of players when that seemed almost impossible on Roblox. In fact, Natural Disaster Survival to this day still manages to average a consistent player count between 6,000 and 10,000 throughout the week. Even after years of non-consistent updates, this game still holds a pretty steady player base. Luke's Roblox game wouldn't just make him a ton of Robux and make him one of the most influential developers at the time, but this would also get him a role at Roblox where he actually became an official Roblox administrator for a while. And as of now, he is no longer an administrator as he did stop working with the company. He still is pretty active on Roblox to this day and occasionally updates his games, which is genuinely insane how he went from being an ordinary teenager interested in Roblox to being one of the most famous developers. But Stickmaster Luke isn't just known for his games or working at Roblox. He is also known for his insane limited collection. All the way back in the 2000s, when Luke was a teenager, he started buying a ton of Roblox Limiteds simply for the fun of it. He didn't expect anything to really happen to them, however they started blowing up in value. One of the Limiteds in question is even worth over $1 million in actual US dollars, which is another reason why Stickmaster Luke is considered one of the most influential and most famous developers with one of the craziest rises. We've talked about developers that slowly improved over time, or developers that became so famous they worked with Roblox Corporation themselves. What about a development team that risked everything to get where they are today? Well, MyGame43, a Roblox player who started playing Roblox all the way back in the early days of Roblox in 2008. From a young age, he loved Roblox, and so did his brother known as Indra. The two loved playing Roblox together, and eventually they wanted to make what they loved most, Roblox games. And with tons of motivation and tons of ideas, they started working on their first Roblox game. This game was called Parkour Simulator, a game where you basically are just running and trying to get faster. This game did pretty well. Tons of YouTubers made videos about it, tons of kids enjoyed it, and it had millions and millions of visits and hundreds of players. And as of now, the game is shut down, but this definitely taught the two boys how to make a good game. But this wasn't what they wanted. They wanted something on the front page, so they tried again. They made a new game. They made it better. This time, instead of making a game that was an overused concept, they decided to make an anime fighting game back in 2017. This was a pretty unused idea. This game was called Elemental Battlegrounds, and it took off, still averaging over 100 players to this day and having 460 million visits. But once again, this game didn't reach the front page like they wanted. So they risked everything and stopped developing this game for 1 year to go all out on their next project. Welcome to Blox Fruits, a game where you level up and use fruits to fight different NPCs, other players, and bosses. This game is about progression, but it is also based off the popular anime One Piece. With it being based off such a popular anime, and also being quite a fun game and a quite intriguing topic, people immediately started playing this game. And to this day, this game still can hold a consistent player base of around 200,000 to 300,000 players. Despite peaking at around 2 million players, having over 60 billion visits, this game truly did change some of Roblox forever, influencing the trend of anime games. The story of Indra and MyGame is truly inspiring to those who have wanted front page games for years. It shows to never give up and keep trying. These Roblox developers impacted Roblox, influenced trends, and did many things within their span of being developers that changed the platform forever. These developers are truly some of the most influential people in the Roblox community. Anyways, hope you have a good day. My name is Mightyy. I make weekly Roblox documentaries, so make sure to like and subscribe to the channel if you enjoy the content. Anyways, hope you have a good day, and Mightyy out.